That is the highest that book has been in the charts for 2 years. 2 years! Oh, it'd be awesome to have a number one again. And really rather good timing. Well folks, I officially handed in the letter of resignation this morning. It's all real now. Feels a bit weird. Guess I have to figure out a way to make a living without a job now then. Panic mode will set in for like 3 or 4 hours and then I'll be fine. I'm sure I'll be fine. I actually feel sick right now. And it's nothing to do with work stuff. I promise you it's nothing to do with work stuff. Because of the weird way I record videos out of sequence, nobody knows about this yet because it's not on any of my videos until tomorrow's Football Manager video comes out. But last night I was out here in the garage recording a Football Manager video and a little mouse just popped its head up and in the corner of the room in that big pile of rubbish. This big pile of rubbish that I put there when I set the room up to be my studio and I never dealt with. And now there's a mouse. Now, there was a mouse. I don't know if there's still a mouse because I freaked out because I'm just a giant child. Ran inside to tell Anna about it. She told me to order this thing, which apparently scares them away, and some of these things. So fresh out of Tom and Jerry kind of stuff. So I've got 2 of those, 1 of those, and a dead mouse, which is why I'm not showing you the second mouse trap. I feel awful. I don't know why. I was scared of him. I gave him a name. He was called Clive. I don't even know if he was the only one. So I've got to leave the traps out. This could be a daily trauma for me for however long it takes to kill a garage full of mice. Actually, I don't know what to... Seriously, don't know what to do now. Do I just throw the whole trap away? It says they're reusable, but I don't know if you could pay me enough to prize a dead mouse out of a mouse trap. He's still got peanut butter on his mouth. I don't like this at all. He didn't do me any harm. And part of me thinks, double whammy, murderous swine. He was probably running away from the noise box thing that I put down there. On his way out the garage. On his way out, got his bags packed. Oh, there's some peanut butter. I'll just have a little lick of that on the way out. Bam! Neck broken. At least it was humane. I looked at these horrible things that were just basically planks of wood with glue on them, where they just glue themselves to this board and then starve to death, presumably. It's not the most humane trap I could have got. But then you think I'm scared of a dead mouse. Now, you imagine how scared I would be of an actual alive mouse in a tube that I had to free somewhere. I realise I'm 6'2", 20 stone, 34 years old. I made a very big, important life decision today. I am now worried that I'll never be able to record videos in the murder room again. There's now a mouse ghost in here. Years ago, my old cat, also now deceased, didn't kill that. But years ago, my old cat did a poo on the kitchen floor. Now, I'm a dog owner now. I'm a little bit more used to animal poo these days. But when you're a dog owner, you are provided with tools for getting rid of the poo. You have the little scoopy thing, and you have the little bags that are scented, and you know you're picking up poo, but you're always outside when you're doing it. It's not that much of a big deal. You get used to it. I got used to it slower than I probably should have done. But this cat poo on the kitchen floor years ago, I almost vomited like 4 or 5 times. I had to have tissues rolled up and shoved up my nose to stop myself from vomiting. I was retching constantly. Bearing in mind, my gag reflex is so intense. If I put my toothbrush too far into my mouth, I'd gag. I sound like I'm choking. I'm going to be sick. I just don't know how I get near that little mouse trap with a mouse hanging out of it and not throw up on the floor. I feel awful that it's dead. I realise they carry disease. We have a freezer out here. We keep the kids' food. Our food lives in that freezer. We can't have mice in here. I understand all that from an intellectual point of view. But at the same time, I don't kill spiders. I don't kill bugs. Oh, it's got a face. Oh, Oh, this is awful. I need to figure out what to do. I'm not going to film it because that's just vile, and I would unsubscribe if someone filmed that. Oh God, that was the worst thing I've ever had to do. That was. I can't do videos anymore. This is going to be the last video that ever appears on YouTube. I can never go in my garage again. My laptop's in there. To be fair, you're not even going to see this because the laptop's dead to me now. That's not coming back in the house. Oh my God. Why are you laughing? That was so traumatic. That is the worst thing that has ever happened to me in my life.
You're a big scary man.
Right, I had to... You're supposed to use gloves, we don't have any, so I had to get some dog poo bags on my hands, double layered.
Did you take a picture of it?
By the way, you can still feel the cold steel through the dog bags. Oh.
Oh.
I don't have any words. I put the dog bags on my hand, grabbed the mouse trap that Clive was hanging out of. I had a closer inspection. Once I could take... Those bulging eyes would be burned into my retina for the rest of my life. He looks so surprised. Someone's left a peanutty treat out here for me. Leave me alone! You didn't have to do this, you weren't there. Oh, I don't think he got his tongue in the butter. I don't know if he died happy. I don't know if we can keep the traps in there.
No, I think I'm crying. Me too.
You're crying?
I'm crying.
Why did I give him a name? I didn't kill him. He died in an unfortunate accident. No, I didn't. No, it was her master plan. I was just a henchman. She's the one who wouldn't go out into the garage anymore.
I didn't. That's why I had to defrost the freezer.
You know what my biggest fear is now? Even bigger than what I've just had to deal with, that I'll have nightmares about tonight. That I go out there tomorrow and Clive Jr. is in the same trap. Little baby Clive. And we find out it was Clivetta. What's the feminine of Clive?
Why did you split the whole trap in the bin?
Because it still had good peanut butter in it. It's gone back in the jar. Like, he loved it, I assume. He didn't look happy.
He needed doing.
I know. Just, if you're a teenager watching this and you still live at home with your parents, don't leave, ever. Unless you're my kids. If you're watching this, you leave. When you're a kid and the mouse gets into the house and does a poo in the toaster and you have to throw the toaster away, your mum just gets rid of the toaster and the mouse and you don't have to deal with it. You just hear this story that there was a mouse, there was a toaster, things happened, and you have to use the grill to make toast from now on. And that's okay, you can live with all of that. But as an adult, the head of a household... Shut up! Okay, I'm gonna go and do this outside. As an adult, you have to... I could see the point of impact where his neck snapped. Exactly. Not so funny now, is it?
But it was
Chuckle, chuckle, laugh it up. This wasn't what today's vlog was supposed to be about. Something quite major happened today. Is this how life's going to be now? I quit teaching and become a mouse murderer. Just... don't ever leave home. Genuinely, that was awful. Just awful. I'm only just coming. I mean, it's nearly 9:30 at night. I was supposed to be doing a podcast. That's not happened. Whoops, one true nerd if you're watching, apologies. I did get back, but then that happened and I just forgot and I was traumatised. Just awful, awful. I had planned to get into the big news of the day a little bit more on today's video. Obviously, we're running out of time now. I'm not going to go into it in too much detail. There's not too much to say, to be honest. I handed in my notice. I now have a countdown timer until I leave my job. That's until I stop working. That's the last day of term. I actually get paid for another 6 weeks after that. So basically the situation I'm in now is I've got 26 weeks, half a year. How convenient how that's worked out. I've got half a year to build what's currently my supplementary income sources. So YouTube, writing, the odd other thing here and there that doesn't bring in very much, Patreon, merchandise, whether we do a live event or not this year, or a series of them maybe, or I don't know. Quite like to do some kind of speaking thing as well, whether that's as a YouTuber or an author, or whether I just do that as a teacher and go around to schools and teach people how to revise for half a day for however much you charge for that kind of thing. I've not done any research into that yet. But that's really what the next 6 months is going to be now. It's 6 months of figuring out how I take a monthly income that at the moment varies from, I don't know, in the worst possible months, which frustratingly are usually around September, October time, because everything's on a 2-month delay. And at that point, my revision book that I wrote, no one's buying revision books in July because they've finished their exams then. And Football Manager doesn't come out until October, so no one's really watching YouTube videos sort of July, August time. So the worst months of the year, certainly the worst month of last year, was September, which is going to be my first month being self-employed. So in that worst month, I mean, last year it was maybe 250 quid, which obviously is not even close to enough to live on. I'd like to think with a year's growth and maybe another book under my belt, and this channel as well, which shouldn't be as seasonal as a Football Manager one, and it's growing faster than that one ever did, maybe we can push that to £500 or £600 from all sources by September. Obviously not enough to live on, but that's when I need to get a little bit smart with my budgeting, because at the moment, this is where the big money comes in from the book anyway. This time of year, I'm getting paid. In March, I'll get paid for all the books I sold in January. It was nearly, probably closing in on £1,000 worth of books in January, which I'll get paid for in March. I've got to be smart enough to put a big chunk of that aside for September, which isn't going to be as good. I've got my moderation work that I'm going to be doing in the summer. I get paid for that in June, July time. That'll be another grand, 1,500 quid. So if I can put those two aside and not spend them on toys or comics, or going to conventions or any other stupid stuff that I love to spend my money on, then we should go into September with a little bit of a buffer built up. And then once we hit October, November time, the good times are rolling, because that's when Football Manager goes crazy. So the gaming channel will explode at that point. Hopefully I'll have a game, maybe 1 or 2 other games established on there by then. I'm not going to drop daily Football Manager content, but I'd like to think I can introduce some more gaming content to that channel. It's not just Football Manager. I'd like to do games reviews or something along those lines. The moment I'm not contractually a teacher anymore, I will do a Twitch stream and get back into streaming. So that's another potential income source. I think I'll be fine. How high did my voice go there? I think I'll be fine. I just need to be sensible on 26 weeks. There are 26 weeks until my last paycheck from work. I need to make sure that by the time I hit that 26-week mark, I've got at least another paycheck, maybe 2 paychecks tucked away in the bank account to get me through those lean couple of months before we start hitting the bigger money from the Football Manager launch and from people buying revision stuff again and from whatever else comes in at that point. So we'll be fine. More plans will trickle through over the next days, weeks, months. But for now, what I would like to do is invite you to ask me some questions for a Q&A, because a lot has gone on over the last 11 days since I stood in the car park near the Chinese with horrible orange lighting and told you that I wouldn't do another vlog from in this garage for 10 days. So that was 11 days ago. Things have been massive. The viewership on the vlog has more than doubled in that time. Everything is exploding. You lot are to thank for that. I assume that means there's some new people who've come along, or people who've taken an interest in the vlog for the first time. So tomorrow's vlog is going to be a Q&A. I'm going to take the questions primarily from the comments to this video. I will announce it on Twitter and Facebook as well, but last time we went Facebook first, the time before we went Twitter first. This time it's you guys, the guys who've made the channel explode over the last week. Get your questions down in the comments to this video. You will be up first on the first Q&A for 2 or 3 weeks, and then if there's any time left, we'll bring Twitter and Facebook into it as well. Don't ask about the mouse. And all I wanted to say, I don't usually do a big outro thing on here. If Casey Neistat taught me anything, okay, so yeah, the music and the intro style and all the other stuff I rip off from him, but the big thing that when I read an interview with him, the thing he really likes to do is just like the cold stop to a vlog where it just ends and the music hits. So I normally try and do that, but I don't think it would be right on such a massive day for me, for my family, for the future of the YouTube channels, and for you guys interacting with that, if I didn't just say thank you. Again, I seem like I've been saying it a lot lately, but thank you for the support over the last couple of weeks, couple of months. It has made this whole decision process a lot easier, knowing that I'm not crazy. Having a whole herd of people telling me that my thought process is right. And I don't know if I could have made the same decision without you lot affirming that I wasn't just mad. So thanks for that. And if it all goes wrong, I'll just blame you lot.